All right, so I decided to basically make an intro to to the video. The video is not short, a little bit long, but it is what it is. I had to stop for a few minutes, probably like 5 minutes. So this one's been here for a while, right? We are drinking. You're gonna see what it is. Obviously, you saw the thumbnail, and for the time that I was gone, that I had to like go do something and come back, the flavor in my mouth. Yeah, this is very different than a cheaper, um, a cheaper tea, like the Hui one. I think is called that breath, the tea breath, like all of this presence of the tea in my throat and the exhalation and how it coated my mouth with this very show profile type sweetness. So I just wanted to like make sure that you knew that about it because I didn't get in there. And with a lot of my reviews, you don't have that, and I may have to change that in a way that you can like get a better sense of the whole experience of the tea instead of me just like drinking a bit and then saying goodbye, right? Because there is a lot that happens after. The other thing is the way I feel. My mood was like, meh. I could have just passed out if I sat on the couch for long enough. I feel ready to go do stuff right now. I was not very looking forward to chores, but I do have to go through some chores, and I feel very positive about like listening to an audiobook when I finish the dishes or whatever it is that I have to do. So this is one of those teas that are kind of like certain media that I like, such as songs or videos, that are gonna probably be a pickup when I am having a hard time. So there's something about this tea that picks you up from kind of like a low. All right, so keep that in mind because yes, I drink cheaper teas that taste good, but this depth of experience may not be found in a cheaper version of show. So yeah, this was being that was brewed for probably 5 minutes. So it's very nice. It has that now more like dark chocolate, like they said, and all the other descriptions you'll see in the rest of the video. So enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you next time. Hello, everyone. This is my corner tea bar, and here we have a very nice tea from orientaleaf. Well, I assume it's very nice because their teas are very nice. And I wanted to show you what I do when I have been drinking. So as you see, I've been drinking tea, and as you see, there are not so many gaiwans left there because a lot of them are here on the table and on the way to be washed. So the same with cups and justice cups and all that, being using them, right? So what happens with how? Oops, I just hit that. What happens is that you use basically asked all the time in my case like about why do you have to use a guy when it doesn't seem to be like a very practical thing. Well, it is practical because you just saw me empty this thing and um, if you're like a scientist or like are gonna be buying a very large amount of tea and your job is to be a tea curator or whatever, yeah, you may want to be more um, concerned about a little bit of the smell from the tea before that. But I think with just basically rinsing your teaware, it's all you need to do. It's not like you need to every time like watch it that much. I mean, from day to day, yeah. I mean, don't be drinking on the same tea for a whole week without watching it. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. So I think that will be like a personal preference. But today I'm being using this teaware, and I've had tea several times today, right? So I'm a tea drinker, and don't just do this once a week and pretend that it's a meditation practice. This is a bar because we have people over sometimes, and I share and I talk about it and I teach them about it because people are interested. And I think that the tea culture is less toxic uh, substance to be consuming socially compared to alcohol or coffee or whatever else, including mate. I mean, I grew up with mate, and that is like coffee and it's addictive and very high strong. Tea is such a chill thing. So that was just in a nutshell. Like how to get started with your. It's all clean and nice. It's all good. It's warmed up. So here we have this. It's golden tips, right? It has a beautiful name. It's called mid-age golden tip Pu-erh from MengHai. It's Mixiang 2017, right? It's a $99.50 cake, and I think that their main claim is that it's made with the material that has more buds than leaves. So we'll break off a piece if I can. Okay, no, then we're gonna go for the knife. They are recommending, so they're recommending 5 grams per 100 ml of water. And I will normally say don't listen to what the recommendations are because you will just have to drink tea the way you drink it. But I I definitely respect very much the time and dedication this company has put in writing um, about the teas that they're selling, and also I find that their advice, brewing advice, is useful. So if you're just starting on teas and all that, you have a lot of material in in their website to read about different teas and their qualities and whatnots, right? So these are 5 grams. This is 100, a little bit more than 100 ml, but I'm not going to fill it up all the way. I don't have 100 ml guy ones because I drink too much tea, and I share tea, so I'm not only drinking by myself all the time. Usually, like, oh, I'm going to drink by myself, and then like my son shows up or she comes over and she wants some and whatever. So they talk about a little bit of like vintage furniture, like kind of like dark chocolate, nutty flavor, sweet uh, and mellow aroma with a red mahogany type of liquor. All right. It has a closer to the um, closer to that very clean wood oil. Like the pile. It's not gonna be like drinking a spoonful of compost. Like a friend online, they said 100 Fahrenheit. So let me just hit it again. He said like eating night crawlers. He's like eating a night crawler. Like, well, I don't know how a night crawler eats, but I can imagine. Yeah, when it's all earthy and stuff like that, and it's, it's like a night crawler. Yeah, it does not smell like night crawler. I do definitely think that that one, the high one, is a nightcrawler type shank. But hey, man, I like it. So I don't know. Maybe I would enjoy nightcrawlers. Maybe some sort of a robin bird, kind of a thing going on in my genes because I want to eat nightcrawlers, I guess. So okay, we went over a little bit about the guy one, and the other question that people usually ask is about Why the guy one? You see how quick it was. A teapot it's not quick to clean, man. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's cool for pictures and whatever, and it's a thing of um like someone who like drinks tea like once in a while, and I mean it gets old to be cleaning clay teapots and stuff like that, you know. And usually small teapots that aren't made out of clay, that are made out of ceramic suck. You know, they're like ceramic teapots are pretty badly made, like this one, which is the same brand I guess from this guy one. That thing sucks. Just there. I mean, I should put tea in it. It's a good place to put tea. Okay, so they said 10 seconds for the first infusion. It has that earthy, like wet wood, you know, like soft, softer wood, you know, that you find in the forest that is like being already kind of like eaten by mushrooms. I can, I kind of like salivated a little bit at the smelling of that earthy kind of sweet smell. Mm. This is very nice. It has a lot of sweetness to the liqueur. It's not very earthy. It's mellow and I don't want to say floral, but something chocolatey about it. Kind of like almost more like milk chocolate in a sense. Without the overwhelming um, sensation of actual milk chocolate. And okay, well, this is kind of like the rinse. So we'll see how the next one is. And I don't want to push it so hard because I usually like I feel guilty, man, because I drink Pu-erh so dank, so strong. That is like not really what people are doing, and people are trying to drink stuff kung fu style, and it's, I don't know. I don't agree that show is best drunk through kung fu style, but hey, maybe some teas now like this one and other high quality shows are better off enjoyed in a setting like this. That should be about 15 seconds right there. Let's get the second one. It's a very mouthful of of tea. This is very nice shopware in terms of how it feels and the lingering flavor in my mouth is of you know, sweetness, and yeah, it's nice. It's very clean, very clean. Definitely a good introduction to shopware to people that don't know. That, that bird is nice. A little bird out there. A couple of birds. I guess they're flirting. Hmm. Okay, it does remind me of the profile of their cheaper teas. They have I have one of their cheaper teas that comes in a tool. What is it called? I can't remember. Something like smooth and sweet or something like that. That I drink every day, and I do brew it differently. But this one is really good. I don't know how the endurance is gonna be. And usually, shop wars that are of better material will have a nicer journey through the steeps, whilst the ones that don't have very good material will have like a nice flavor in the beginning, and then it's just gonna be weird, you know. So those are more suitable for like thermos brewing and whatever. Ah, nice. Yeah, it doesn't feel funky at all. Not none of that funky like earthy musk in it. In terms of water, I use reverse osmosis filters, and the water comes out the reverse osmosis with 3 part per million or whatever it is TDS. So there's not a lot in it, and I add about 150 parts per million of trace minerals with these drops that I buy on Amazon from I think it's called E-Trace or something like that. So I remineralize the water a little bit. Um, I think it's important to get your water right, because I've run out of water and I've gone like grab water from like any other source. It sucks, you know. So the tea doesn't taste the same at all, you know. So very important to get the water right, and I think the only way of getting the right water right for real. I mean, the rest is just kind of like okay, is reverse osmosis. Buying bottles of water and piling up a bunch of plastic out there makes me feel bad. Also, I don't want to drink microplastics if I can, avoid that. And PFAs, forever chemicals, and all that stuff. They get all cleaned out with reverse osmosis, right? So you're basically 100% sure that the water you're getting is pure. Unfortunately, the only way nowadays. So Lou, I'm sorry, but I ain't gonna be getting water from any creeks ever. I don't want diphtheria or any of those things. Yeah, it's very nice. I think it will be a good introduction for a coffee drinker as well. This definitely is going to be a stronger brew. I don't think it's going to be the peak. I think the peak just passed. That this is probably like a 1 minute thing, and I wanted to do like one final steep with a little bit darker, liquor. I'm gonna show it to you. Hopefully, you can get a good idea of what I'm talking about. This is the third infusion. You've watched me do this through and through. It is not really possible to see buds in here. Like it's very um, the integrity of the material is compromised for sure. Yeah, it's this wet pile, right? I mean, so what do you want? But it's nice, It's nice tea. Now, overall, do I need to spend that much money on shop wire? Maybe not. Personally, right? Personally. But that's the same with me when I say that. You have to understand, I don't like to spend a bunch of money on anything. It makes me a lot happier to find a cheaper alternative that is good. It doesn't make me happy to spend a bunch of money and then say that, or boast or brag about the fact that I can spend that money. You know what I mean? So I'm more on the side of the frugality of tea drinking. I mean, with this in context, right? I mean, it's a fucking bar, and yeah, I see that some people may spend a bunch of money on tea and they are drinking out of a tray on top of their coffee table, right? And I think that it is it is not as important to spend money on gear and and things like that. It needs to be nice, like anything, to enjoy it, like keep your car clean and stuff like that. But I like cheaper things when they're good, better than expensive things that taste the same as cheaper things. Same with tools, same with anything. I'm starting another channel. It's called, it's gonna be called, it's not, well, it is called, it's the monkey, not the banana, and it's about tools and stuff like that. And I'm talking about the same thing, and I'm doing the same thing, just showing I can do whatever, with whatever tool. It doesn't really matter. I mean, like at the end, yeah, maybe that some tools are nicer, but it doesn't justify a 10 times, price difference for a tool that does the same, like a grinder or whatever. Maybe longevity was, but anyways. So, um, in that sense, what I'm trying to say, it's not that I am saying don't do what you want to do with your money. I'm just trying to say, like, I personally don't think that for me to enjoy tea, I need to spend money on very expensive tea. Within the context of us, right? Tea drinkers. Because even the cheaper fucking tea that we buy is gonna be more expensive than the Lipton little dinky bags that people buy. And so, with that in mind, of course, within reason, I like to find bargains. I think that Oriental Leaf is a good place to find both things that are really good, that are affordable, and things that are very expensive and that are good as well. I would like to say that not just their tea, but all the information they provide on their website is very helpful for someone who's starting. And the friend that we just had visiting and is just getting into Pu-erh drinking and all that stuff and shop Pu-erhs and this and that, she can find all the information she needs in that one website. Oriental Leaf has all of that information laid out about the types of tea and why and where it comes from and why and the story behind it and all those things. You know what I mean? So when someone wants to actually get educated about things, you can go there and it's gonna find not just great tea to try in all kinds of teas. So when you put your order, you're able to put a bunch of samples in that are going to be a good size sample. And what I mean by a good size sample is like, for instance, I had a 5 gram sample, only one. What if I tried it and I wasn't really paying attention, or I just didn't eat the right thing that day, and I just couldn't get what the tea needed to offer, right? Well, if I had a 30-gram sample, I would have 6 opportunities to brew it in different ways. Less tea, more tea, or hotter, lower. Like usually the first time you have a tea, you're kind of figuring it out what you want to do with it. You know what I mean? Or how you want to brew it. How is it going to cater to your taste? So I really like the fact that all of their samples are a size that makes sense. 30 grams is a good size, and they're not expensive samples. So you could get a bunch of samples from them, and they usually toss a couple more here and there. You can then decide later when you put an order what you want, and you would have several times. You're not gonna just have like one nice sample, then order a whole cake, and then be like, "This is not like the sample I had." You will really get an idea of what you're getting, you know. So that's it. I really hope that you give them a try, and I will see you next time.